BingX, a trusted global crypto exchange. Trade spot, futures, or copy top traders easily. Sign up via the link or referral code to get 30 USDT instantly, plus up to 1,500 USDT in bonuses for verification, deposit, and trading.
The Addams Family movie secrets deserve double snaps. Watch how Catherine Zeta-Jones relates to Wednesday's Morticia Addams. They're creepy and they're kooky. Mysterious and spooky. They're all together ooky. While that iconic television theme song captured the essence of the Addams Family for a generation, the big screen adaptations truly unleashed their unique brand of macabre charm. The cinematic Addams clan embraced their individuality, fearlessly expressing their desires and living life on their own delightfully peculiar terms with pitch-perfect performances from a stellar cast including Raul Julia, Angelica Houston, Christina Ricci, and Christopher Lloyd. The Addams Family and its equally captivating sequel, Addams Family Values, have solidified their status as essential viewing for Halloween enthusiasts and fans of dark humor. Year-round, Christina Ricci's portrayal of Wednesday Addams, the young girl whose mind was perpetually occupied by thoughts of homicide, remains the definitive standard for sardonic adolescent morbidity. In a 2023 appearance on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, the now 45-year-old actress reflected on the character's enduring appeal, stating, "If you think about role models for young people, that's a great character. She knows who she is. She's never going to conform. She's never going to try to be what everybody thinks she should be. She'll never change to please anyone. That's pretty great." Born from Charles Addams' darkly humorous cartoons and the beloved 1964 television series, the Addams Family film was an unexpected triumph in Hollywood. Few anticipated its success when it was released in 1991. Despite a challenging 20-week production schedule and a modest $30 million budget, the film defied expectations, grossing over $200 million worldwide. This critical and commercial success paved the way for an even funnier sequel, Addams Family Values, released in 1993. While the sequel didn't replicate the box office performance of its predecessor, earning just under $50 million, it has since achieved cult classic status, largely thanks to Joan Cusack's unforgettable performance. The franchise has continued to captivate audiences through an all-star animated feature in 2019, boasting voices from Charlize Theron, Oscar Isaac, Finn Wolfhard, and more, as well as the immensely popular Netflix series Wednesday, which stars Jenna Ortega as the delightfully deranged teen, proving the Addams' enduring appeal is anything but banal or puerile. As the witching hour approaches and Halloween looms, a closer look at the making of the 1991 film and its 1993 sequel reveals some deep, dark, and utterly fascinating behind-the-scenes secrets. And yes, some of these revelations are as delightfully shocking as a confection made from real Girl Scouts. The journey to bring the Addams Family to the big screen was a long one, with talks circulating for decades. However, producer Scott Rudin's decision to finally greenlight the project was spurred by an unexpected moment, hearing the iconic theme song sung by a studio executive's son during a car ride. As Rudin recounted to the Los Angeles Times, and suddenly everyone in the van was singing the theme, letter perfect, note for note. Inspired by this spontaneous outburst of Addams fandom, Rudin entered the studio the very next day with a pitch for the film. The casting process for Gomez Addams also had its twists and turns. In 1989, Cher and Kevin Kline were reportedly considered for the roles of Morticia and Gomez, with Ivan Reitman attached to direct. By 1990, Robin Williams and Angelica Houston's names had surfaced. Ultimately, Raul Julia secured the pivotal role of the Addams patriarch. Director Barry Sonnenfeld explained to The Guardian that Raul was totally suited to play Gomez. "I've never worked with anyone more in love with life." For the role of Morticia, Angelica Houston was consistently the top choice for producers. Rudin told the Los Angeles Times, "We always wanted Angelica. She's a hothouse flower. She's Mrs. Miniver in this movie, the mother hen of the family. She can be sweet and arch and then turn on a dime and be very passionate too." Houston herself was surprised to be considered, initially believing Cher was the more obvious choice for the part. Sonnenfeld later admitted, "The studio wanted Cher, but we felt that would unbalance the film. We didn't want it to be about stars." Houston drew inspiration for her iconic portrayal of Morticia from Jerry Hall. As revealed in an interview with The Guardian, The transformation into the Addams matriarch was an extensive process, involving 2 hours of hair and makeup, including reshaping her eyes, and the restrictive embrace of a metal corset. Come afternoon, I could be prone to a really good headache from my various bondages. And because I couldn't lie down in the corset or rest, it was fairly exhausting, Houston shared with EU. Despite a long and successful career, Christina Ricci's portrayal of Wednesday Addams, a role she began at the tender age of 10, remains her defining performance, a fact she embraces wholeheartedly. Speaking to the AV Club, Ricci expressed a deep connection to the character, stating, "I feel very inextricably bound to her, because I feel like, who can say how much influence being that person at that age for the amount of time that I was her? The amount of positive reinforcement from playing that character. It's like a chicken or egg debate. Did I influence her as a character? Or did she as a character influence my personality?" For her audition, Ricci revealed on Live with Regis and Kathy Lee in 1991 that her mother advised her to channel Winona Ryder in Beetlejuice. Noting the characters' similarities, this advice proved fruitful, and the audition was a success. Ricci and Ryder had previously worked together on Mermaids the year before, and their friendship endured for years. The role of Uncle Fester almost went to Sir Anthony Hopkins, who reportedly turned it down. The distinctive fatsuit worn by Christopher Lloyd in the films had a prior cinematic life, having been worn by Bruno Kirby in The Godfather Part 2 in 1974 before being passed on to the Back to the Future star. As a lifelong admirer of the original cartoons, Christopher Lloyd was reportedly astonished to receive the offer to play his favorite character, Uncle Fester. During the early stages of production, Lloyd harbored fears of being replaced, admitting to BuzzFeed, "I really didn't feel like I was very convincing." A summons to a meeting after filming a test scene in prosthetic makeup led him to believe his recasting was imminent. However, the decision was made to opt for simpler makeup, as they thought the prosthetics were limiting my facial expressions. So we chucked the prosthetics. And I was very, very relieved, Lloyd explained. An early draft of the first film's script featured Fester as an imposter, not a biological member of the Addams family. During a table read, the cast expressed their outrage, leading to 10-year-old Ricci being tasked with presenting their concerns to the creative team. Rudin recounted, "She explained to us why Fester had to be the real Fester throughout, and we had to figure out how to make it work. She was such a brilliant spokesperson that we rewrote 20 pages of the script." While many anticipated directors like Tim Burton, Terry Gilliam, or David Lynch helming the Addams Family, the directorial reins were ultimately handed to Barry Sonnenfeld, a cinematographer with no prior directing experience. The demanding 25-week shoot took a significant toll on him. "I lost 13 pounds in the first 10 weeks alone," Sonnenfeld revealed to Empire, describing the tension as just incredible. 3 weeks into production, he famously fainted on set during a budget discussion, recalling, "I was standing behind a chair when I started to feel this tremendous pressure in my chest, as if someone was blowing up a balloon inside me. Before I knew what was happening, I got very dizzy and tried to sit down and, wham! I'd passed out." Adding to Sonnenfeld's anxiety, producer Rudin playfully altered the name on the director's chair with a new name each time a reporter visited the set, often featuring directors who had been considered for the project. The sequel's title, Addams Family Values, was a direct nod to a controversial 1992 speech by then vice presidential candidate Dan Quayle, who attributed the Los Angeles riots to a breakdown in family values. All main Addams Family members reprised their roles in the sequel, with the exception of Judith Malina, who was replaced by Carol Kane as Grandmama. This change was necessitated by the role becoming more physically demanding. Kane, who has been friends with Angelica Houston since their teenage years, is actually a year younger than her on-screen daughter. Although Kathleen Turner was reportedly in contention, Joan Cusack ultimately landed the coveted role of Debbie Jelinski, the gold-digging con woman villain. Cusack's performance was so captivating that she stole many of the scenes she appeared in, even eliciting laughter from cast and crew. Joan Cusack is just bliss as Debbie. "I was on set the day we were shooting that monologue and she's talking about Malibu Barbie. People were stuffing paper cups in their mouths to stop themselves from laughing because Joan was sublime," screenwriter Andrew K. Rudnick told BuzzFeed. "Watching her is a gift. Wednesday's first on-screen kiss with fellow Camp Chippewa camper Joel, portrayed by Dave Krumholtz, was a significant milestone for both actors. Richie, then 13, and her 15-year-old co-star experienced their initial on-screen smooch together. I was nervous about it. I hadn't kissed too many girls period, so it was one of my first kisses. If you look at it, it's like we touch lips. It's very, very innocent, Krumholtz reflected. But I remember Christina complaining that I had peach fuzz on my upper lip. She didn't like that, and that made me really self-conscious. The infant son of Gomez and Morticia in the sequel, Baby Pubert, was portrayed by twin girls, Caitlin Hooper and Kristen Hooper. The name Pubert was a callback to Charles Addams' original choice for Pugsley, a name that was rejected by the producers of the 1960s television series. To encourage the twins to crawl for scenes, Cheerios were tied to strings, and their hair was tinted a darker shade of black. Naturally, Pubert's iconic mustache was drawn on. The casting of Pugsley Addams also involved a fortunate familial connection. Director Barry Sonnenfeld revealed that Jimmy Workman was discovered through his sister, who was auditioning for Wednesday. "We spotted him in the waiting room," Sonnenfeld said. Michael Jackson penned a song and filmed a music video for the sequel, titled "Is It Scary?" However, following allegations of child sexual abuse in 1993 and existing contract disputes with Paramount, the song and video were ultimately scrapped from the final movie. "I think he completed the video for it, but it was just a little too risky to include it in the final movie at that point," Rudnick explained to BuzzFeed. "I think it involved him living in the Addams Family mansion and all of his neighbors storming the place with pitchforks and torches. So it was a little too close." Laughs. "That's why it wasn't included." The elaborate cousin-it wig, worn by John Salapatek in both films, initially weighed a staggering 35 pounds. Although it was lightened for the sequel, it was insane, Salapatek told BuzzFeed, admitting he worried about being replaced for the follow-up. "I only weigh a little over 100 myself. It was an endurance test being in the costume." Sadly, Addams Family Values marked one of the final projects for Raul Julia. Having been diagnosed with stomach cancer in 1991, Julia passed away less than a year after the film's release, leaving behind a legacy of unforgettable performances.